disease, walks on water, and makes wine for a party. That's worse. That's like malevolent. That's evil. If he had the power to do everything, you know.
This is one of the things that I've never fully understood. There are certain denominations of Christianity that think that alcohol is a sin, and yet there are others that think that it's a necessary part of, the Catholic process of, what's the word I'm looking for? Please help me out.
Which word? For...
Transubstantiation. You're drinking wine.
It becomes the god of...
Apart from the fact that it's cannibalism, they're drinking alcohol, and yet there are other denominations of Christianity that think that alcohol is an absolute sin. Well, you sum it up very well in your videos. It's the face palming of what the fuck is.
And that whole thing about which person really does have the true relationship with Jesus out of the three people that say they do, and they all have completely different ideas about what he wants. I got a lot of messages from Christians on those two videos. There's one I did called Jesus and the Interpreter, when the modern day Christian goes back and corrects Jesus because he doesn't really mean the word that he actually says. I get a lot of comments from Christians on that one and telling me what a good job I'm doing, and you've really sort of shown us up, Non-Stamp Collective, we really should obey the words of Jesus more, or the ones that come along and say, yeah, you're right, I do follow the words of Jesus, but everybody else doesn't. I'm like, yeah, cool, what a shame I missed your eBay auction where you sold everything you fucking own. What a shame. Oh, and so have you been to any anti-divorce rallies recently? Have you, do you hate your father and mother? All that kind of thing, and they shut up, man. Seriously, sometimes when I'm actually debating on my own videos, it's just like playing tennis, and it's just like somebody hands me, one of those just gift shots, and I just fucking go whack, slam it back over the net, and then it's the last I see of them. It happens all the time. The debates are boring.
They are. And I think the reason why they're boring is because they don't come up with any decent arguments. I mean, in the time that I've been on YouTube, there have been many people who've tried to take the mantle of Hovind on, of which obviously Venom was, the first and major one. We've now got his Hovind's son doing it. We've got Nephilim 3 doing it. We've got Gear Up doing it. We've got I think we can excuse Gorilla 199 because he's obviously
yeah. Well, but on that,
the fact is their arguments don't get any better. They're the same.
And on that, and
the only thing they change, if they change it at all, is a slight alteration in the way the argument is presented.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the same thing, and I differ from a lot of the main guys, even in this room, on that. I'm happy to concede a lot of their arguments because I'm not a real scientist. I don't know a hell of a lot about it, but to me, I don't need to. Like, okay, I'll concede. All right, there has to have been a creator. Fine, you can have that, whether I believe it or not. Okay, that's yours. We'll grant you that. Now, you have to go from there is a creator to I know the creator personally, he hates foreskins, or he used, all the details. By me conceding, okay, all that argument from design and argument from, teleological, all that, you can have it, you win, it's yours. But you're more fucked. You're even more fucked. It doesn't help you at all. I've made a couple of movies like that, just sort of show, okay, intelligent design wins. Now, which god was it? You're no better off than when you're arguing about whether evolution was true or not. Absolutely no better off. And the sooner they realize that, the better. Like, I get frustrated watching a lot of videos and hearing debates when people, I don't know, Richard Dawkins is incredible. He's a historical figure of historical magnitude to me. But I sort of, the first half of his book, I'm not really interested in those arguments. It just doesn't bother me because they have all their work ahead of them, even if you grant them all of that. That's what I find interesting, and I'm kind of into doing more with that. Conceding.
Which book?
God
You're
Delusion. God
talking
Delusion.
about the God Delusion, or his
No, I haven't
most
read the
recent
most recent one yet. I'm gonna love that. And that's gonna be exactly about evolution, and I'm gonna be lined up at the shop on the morning. You know, I hope it comes to Japan quick enough for me to get it on the day, because I don't want to miss any of the discussion here about it on YouTube. Hey DPR, how much time do you think I have left? Because there are questions coming up on the chat that I'm missing, and
Please, I'll calm down. I'm more than happy for you to
Yeah.
take the questions, and I'll just
Yeah.
sit back and relax.
Yeah, cool, because I've got a
for
couple here.
minutes. So please,
Yeah.
take as long as you like.
Okay, somebody asked me here, will you ever show us the deleted scenes? Yeah, I have thought of that. I think I could probably whip one up of deleted, not deleted. No, I can't show you deleted scenes because they get cut out from the recording. I could show you bits of the original recordings that I fucked up, and I think there are some pretty funny things in there, especially with the thing that made the things retro is no known maker and the cause and directs the events we can't otherwise explain and doesn't need to have been made, and is one thing from which you can ask for things that no human can give. And
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, there are some funny things in there.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to read some questions, and I'm going to try to do a quick tour of the other rooms too. Now you can't meet Mrs. Annesley because she's standing on the steps right now wearing a towel only. My favorite YouTuber. I don't have a favorite YouTuber, but I love all the big names. You know who you are. You're all watching this. I'm honoured to be counted amongst you, and and honoured to have more subscribers than some of you. It's crazy. I've got 13,000 now. Yeah. Well, I can thank. Well, firstly, Thunderfoot. I thanked him earlier when he was on here. He used to favourite my vids early on, and every time my graph would just go pow. You know, I'd go from 30 views to 120 views. I was like, yes.
I know, and all my vote botting attempts just had no effect on them at all. It was just disappointing.
And then I got vote botted and Thunderfoot put my Yahweh's Delicious Creation video on his channel, and that got me a lot, and it sort of skyrocketed from there. And then you get on richarddawkins.net and Feringula. I was on Feringula last weekend. That was pretty cool. That got I was only on Feringula for like one day. It's a shame. It was only one day, and he kept on putting new entries in, so it slid down the page pretty quickly, and I didn't stay on for real long. But I got about somewhere around 25,000 views from that. That's pretty cool.
Well, I had a similar experience. I think the first couple of videos I did, Thunderfoot featured or favorited, and I mean I don't understand how I've got as many subs as I have.
Well, you got suspended. Everyone who gets suspended or vote botted gets a big boost.
It does help, but Thunderfoot favoriting video I think is probably the major reason. And I have no problem in shamelessly admitting that I exploited his generosity in getting that many subscribers, because I don't feel I deserve them at all. But hey, I'm not a Romanian sub-whore like some people who flash gussets and whatever.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Subs,
bring it on.
If I had a cleavage and a gusset, I'd flash
Well, I'm
it.
glad you don't. Somebody asked me, I'm from Sydney in Australia. How did you get to know One God, One Jesus? Well, I didn't. I just love his videos. I was pissing myself laughing the first time I saw him, and I watched them all on the first day. And we chat now on email only. I mean through YouTube, but I don't know the guy.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. Zom, is that right? Has someone paid $2,000 for your video? That can't be right.
Jesus.
Oh, you mean during the course of your... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Zom, behave yourself. You know I'm only joking. And I am, of course, grateful. I'm sorry, non-stamp collector. Do carry on.
That's fine. Hey. Okay. Alright, where are we? I'm gonna go into waiting room number 1.
Okay.
I'll just quickly scan through and say hello. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Holy Syndicate. Hello. I'm in waiting room number 1. Anybody got any questions? Because I don't want to take too long because there are other people waiting. There's only 26 people in this room? Why is that? Okay, fire away. How did I have the idea for Jephthah? Well, that's just a story that's begging to be told. Jephthah's a wonderful story. Funny story with Jephthah, in fact. I was at my parents' place the other weekend. I went back to Australia. I live in Japan now. I went back to Australia for a few weeks, and I was flicking through my dad's CDs, and there's Handel actually did an oratorio or something with Jephthah. And I said to my dad, who's a church-going Christian, I said, how did he? I thought, he wouldn't want to sort of celebrate that story. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's a pretty rough story, isn't it? And he couldn't quite remember what the story was, and I told him exactly, and I quoted the King James Bible verse exactly. And he didn't ask why I knew it exactly, but he must have sort of wondered, why the hell do you know word for word the King James version?